What if I told you that one of the biggest reasons so many older adults wake up at night might not be age at all? Doctors estimate that nearly 7 out of 10 people over 60 struggle with restless sleep and nighttime urination. Yet very few realize that a quiet habit before bed could be making things worse. And here is the part most people never hear about. The solution may already be sitting in your kitchen, waiting in a simple glass bottle. Today, I am going to show you the hidden nighttime benefits of olive oil, a golden liquid that has been used for centuries in Mediterranean homes, but often overlooked when it comes to sleep and bladder health. Just 1 spoon before bed could calm inflammation, improve digestion, and even help reduce those sudden urges that pull you out of sleep. Imagine closing your eyes and waking only when the morning light enters your room. Before we begin, I would love to hear from you. Where are you watching this video and what time is it right now? Please share in the comments below because even a small note helps us connect. And if you find this video helpful, please remember to like and subscribe so you never miss the next health secret made for you. Stay with me because in the next few minutes, I will reveal how olive oil at night may quietly transform your sleep and your mornings. The origins and cultural meaning of olive oil. When we speak about olive oil, we are not just talking about a cooking ingredient, we are touching a thread that weaves together centuries of history, tradition, and health. From the sun-soaked groves of Greece, Italy, and Spain to the deserts and markets of the Middle East, olive oil has long been called liquid gold. Over time, this treasure found its way into homes across America and slowly into kitchens in India, where older generations once relied almost entirely on mustard sesame or coconut oil. For many elders, oil carries a deeper meaning than flavor or fat. In Christianity, olive oil has been used as a sacred blessing, poured gently during prayers and healing rituals. In Ayurveda, the ancient Indian science of life oils are seen as carriers of ojas, the vital essence that sustains strength and longevity. When you hear these traditions side by side, it becomes clear that cultures separated by oceans still share the belief that oil nourishes not just the body, but also the spirit. In modern American kitchens, olive oil first became popular as a dressing for salads or a drizzle over bread, especially after the Mediterranean diet was praised by doctors for protecting the heart. Many seniors in the US embraced it, hoping for healthier arteries and lower blood pressure. In India, adoption came more slowly. For decades, it was considered expensive, almost a luxury. But today, middle-class families in Delhi, Mumbai, and Bangalore are beginning to keep a small bottle in the cupboard, curious about its promise of lighter meals and better digestion. Why does this matter for you, dear listener? Because every time you pour a spoonful of olive oil, you are linking your health to a bridge between East and West. You are combining ancient Mediterranean wisdom with modern wellness practices now endorsed by American physicians and slowly recognized by Indian doctors. And here is the gentle reminder. Many seniors feel pressured by silent fears. Fear of another night, broken by trips to the bathroom, fear of stiff joints in the morning, fear of becoming a burden. These feelings are real, and they weigh heavily even if we do not speak them aloud. But small thoughtful choices like replacing heavy oils with olive oil can lighten that burden. It is not a cure-all, but it is a quiet step toward balance, comfort, and dignity. So when you add olive oil to your evening meal, think of it as more than a taste. Think of it as a small act of self-care shaped by history, blessed by tradition, and trusted by modern science. and know that you still have the power to guide your health one mindful spoon at a time. The benefits of olive oil for brain and memory. As we grow older, one of the quiet fears that many seniors carry is the possibility of losing memory, of slowly forgetting the names of loved ones or the stories that once defined our lives. Doctors often speak about Alzheimer's disease or dementia as if they are inevitable companions of aging, but modern research suggests that small daily choices may play a role in protecting the brain. One of the most surprising allies in this journey is something as simple as olive oil, a kitchen staple that holds remarkable power beyond taste. Scientists have discovered that olive oil contains a compound called oleocanthal, which acts as a natural anti-inflammatory. In easy terms, think of inflammation in the brain as a slow fire that quietly damages nerve cells. Oleocanthal works like a gentle extinguisher, calming that fire before it spreads too far. Even more fascinating studies show that olive oil helps clear away beta amyloid plaques, the sticky protein clumps that interfere with brain communication in Alzheimer's disease. Imagine a clogged pipe in your home. The water slows, the pressure builds, and everything feels blocked. Olive oil works like a natural cleaner, helping clear the buildup in the brain so thoughts can flow freely again. Let me share a story that may feel familiar. In Florida, an older gentleman named Robert began adding a spoon of olive oil to his dinner each night. Over several months, he noticed that his mind felt sharper and he no longer misplaced his keys as often. Across the world in Mumbai, a retired teacher named Arjun made a similar change. He mixed olive oil into his evening dal, and his family said he seemed more engaged in conversations and less forgetful of daily tasks. Two lives thousands of miles apart, yet both touched by the same golden liquid. For many Americans, the word Alzheimer's creates deep anxiety, while in India, families whisper about dementia as if it were a shadow to be hidden. These worries are heavy and they can make aging feel frightening. But the hopeful message is this: while no single food can guarantee perfect memory, the steady use of olive oil is supported by both science and tradition as a small but powerful step toward brain health. So when you drizzle olive oil over your salad in New York or stir it into curry in Bangalore, remember that you are not just adding flavor. You are making a quiet investment in your memory, your independence, and your dignity. And in that daily act, you remind yourself that while aging brings challenges, you still hold the ability to nurture and protect your mind one spoon at a time. Natural cancer. Prevention with olive oil. As the years pass, many seniors find themselves quietly wondering what they can do to reduce the risk of cancer in their own lives. Friends pass away, neighbors share their diagnoses, and each story reminds us that our bodies become more fragile with time. While no single food can guarantee protection, research shows that certain natural compounds may give us an extra line of defense, and olive oil is one of the most remarkable examples. Inside high-quality olive oil are polyphenols, powerful plant chemicals that act like guardians patrolling the body. Scientists have discovered that these compounds slow the growth of abnormal cells and sometimes even trigger a process called apoptosis, which means unhealthy cells are gently instructed to self-destruct before they cause harm. In studies, the effects have been especially promising for breast cancer and colorectal cancer, two conditions that often weigh heavily on the minds of seniors in both the United States and India. Think of it this way. Imagine your garden has weeds trying to take over. Olive oil works like a steady gardener, not removing the weeds with harsh chemicals, but quietly supporting the soil so the healthy plants stay strong and the weeds never fully spread. In the same manner, the polyphenols in olive oil support your body's natural systems, helping them resist cellular changes that might otherwise turn dangerous. I recall a retired nurse from Ohio who told me she began adding olive oil to her salads after reading about the Mediterranean diet. She said it gave her peace of mind, knowing she was doing something small each day to protect herself. And in Pune, a widowed grandmother shared how she now stirs a spoon of olive oil into her dal before serving. She admitted she had once feared the word cancer so deeply that she avoided health discussions altogether, but this tiny habit made her feel she still had some control. It is important to remember, dear listener, that olive oil is not a replacement for medical treatment screenings or the advice of your doctor. Instead, it is a daily support, a gentle ally that works quietly in the background. By drizzling it over roasted vegetables, mixing it into a salad, or using it to marinate fish, you are not only adding flavor, you're giving your body a protective gift. So while cancer may remain a heavy word, olive oil reminds us that we are not powerless. With each mindful choice, we take back a measure of control, blending ancient wisdom with modern science and offering ourselves hope for healthier days ahead. Heart health and circulation with olive oil. For many seniors, the unspoken worry is not simply about aches or stiffness, but about the heart quietly working harder than it once did. In the United States, older adults often sit across from their doctor, hearing the same phrases repeated: high cholesterol, rise in blood pressure, and the constant reminder to watch their diet more closely. In India, families talk openly about BP high or sugar level, and it is almost expected that every household knows someone managing these concerns. These silent pressures weigh heavily because a weak heart can change not only your health but your independence. Olive oil offers a gentle but powerful ally. Rich in monounsaturated fats, it helps lower LDL, the so-called bad cholesterol that clogs arteries like thick sludge in an old pipe. At the same time, it supports healthy HDL cholesterol, which works like a cleaner, sweeping away buildup and helping blood flow more freely. Research shows that people who regularly consume olive oil as part of their diet enjoy lower blood pressure and reduced risk of heart attack. This is not a miracle cure, but it is a steady step toward calmer numbers and stronger circulation. The science may sound complicated, but the practice is simple. Replacing heavy cooking oils or butter with olive oil can be a daily act of protection. Think of it like trading in a heavy gas-guzzling car for a smoother, more reliable model. Your body runs more efficiently and your heart does not feel so strained. Consider two real stories. In Delhi, an older gentleman who had battled high blood pressure for years began substituting his frying oil with olive oil. Within a few months, his doctor noted better readings and he felt less heaviness in his chest after meals. In Texas, a grandmother who loved mayonnaise on her sandwiches decided to try olive oil-based dressings instead. She laughed when she realized her meals tasted fresher and her cholesterol numbers slowly crept downward. Both discovered that small, consistent changes could bring surprising relief. For those listening today, the message is clear. olive oil at night can act like a natural heart tonic, calming inflammation, easing circulation, and offering your heart the quiet support it deserves. While medication and regular checkups remain essential, you are not powerless. With one mindful spoon, you give your body a gift of strength, and you remind yourself that even in later years, small choices can still protect the most vital rhythm of your life. Blood sugar control and diabetes. Prevention with olive oil. The phrase blood sugar carries a heavy weight, whether it is heard in a doctor's office in Chicago or during a family meal in Mumbai. Type 2 diabetes has become one of the most common challenges of aging, and even those who are only borderline or pre-diabetic feel the constant pressure of wondering what the next lab test will reveal. This quiet worry is not just about numbers on a page, but about independence, energy, and the ability to enjoy daily life without fear of complications. Olive oil offers a natural way to support your body in this struggle. It is rich in monounsaturated fats, which research shows can improve insulin sensitivity. In simple terms, insulin works like a key that unlocks the door, so glucose can move from your blood into your cells for energy. When the body becomes resistant, the lock grows rusty and the key no longer works as smoothly. Olive oil helps polish that lock, allowing insulin to do its job more effectively and keeping blood sugar levels steadier. This is especially meaningful for people already managing type 2 diabetes or those who have been told they are at high risk. By adding just 1 tablespoon of olive oil into the evening routine, the body may respond with gentler sugar swings and fewer sudden spikes. In India, many elders enjoy warm milk before bed, and stirring a spoon of olive oil into it can be a simple addition. In the United States, a spoon mixed into plain yogurt is an easy practical choice that blends well with familiar habits. Beyond numbers, olive oil may also help calm evening cravings. Seniors often describe late-night hunger that leads to sweet snacks, which then disturb sleep and weight control. Olive oil promotes a light feeling of fullness, reducing the urge to reach for cookies or fried snacks at midnight. Over time, this small change can make it easier to manage body weight, which is one of the strongest defenses against diabetes. It is important to remember that olive oil is not a substitute for prescribed medications, healthy eating, or regular exercise, but it is a trustworthy companion, a quiet support that fits naturally into the routines you already know. When you take that mindful spoon in the evening, whether in New York or New Delhi, you are not just adding oil, you're choosing stability, calm, and a measure of control over your health. And in that simple act, you remind yourself that diabetes does not have to define your journey. With steady steps, you can still guide your body toward balance and peace, stronger bones and healthier joints with olive oil. As the years advance, many older adults quietly fear the possibility of osteoporosis, fragile bones, or painful joints that limit independence. In the United States, seniors often hear their doctors talk about bone density tests, calcium supplements, and the risk of hip fractures. In India, families worry about elderly parents stumbling on uneven streets or the pain of stiff knees, making temple visits more difficult. These concerns are real and they often bring a silent pressure that makes aging feel heavier than it should. Olive oil offers a gentle but meaningful layer of support. Research shows that it helps the body absorb calcium more efficiently and stimulates the production of osteocalcin, a protein linked with stronger bones. If calcium is the brick in your skeleton, Then olive oil acts like the mortar, binding those bricks together so the structure stands firm against the weight of daily life. This simple image helps us understand why olive oil can be such a valuable ally. Real stories bring the science closer. In India, an elderly woman began adding 1 spoon of olive oil with turmeric into her evening routine. Over time, her family noticed she moved with less stiffness and seemed more willing to join household activities again. In Texas, a senior added a drizzle of olive oil to her morning oatmeal instead of butter. She admitted she felt more flexible during her daily walk and less worried about losing her balance. These are not dramatic overnight transformations, but they are steady reminders that small habits can create resilience. Olive oil cannot replace medication or exercise, but it can quietly strengthen the foundation your body still depends on. So, whether stirred into dal or poured over breakfast oats, each spoon is a choice for mobility, dignity, and confidence in later years. Digestive health, gut balance, and immunity with olive oil constipation. Bloating or heartburn can leave the body feeling heavy, and these discomforts often steal the joy from simple pleasures like family meals. In the United States, seniors often turn to fiber supplements or over-the-counter remedies. In India, elders may reach for traditional triphala powders or herbal teas. Yet, across both cultures, olive oil can serve as a gentle natural helper that nourishes the gut and restores calm. Olive oil contains compounds that feed the good bacteria in the intestines, the very microbes that keep digestion steady and the immune system strong. When these bacteria thrive, inflammation in the gut is reduced, making it easier to absorb nutrients and avoid discomfort. Think of your digestive system as a garden. If weeds of irritation grow unchecked, the soil becomes less fertile. Olive oil works like a soft rain, feeding the healthy plants and keeping the soil balanced so the garden continues to flourish. Stories bring this truth to life. In Ohio, an older gentleman who struggled for years with acid reflux began drizzling olive oil on his vegetables. He noticed less burning at night and said he finally enjoyed dinner without dread. In Pune, a grandmother with irritable bowel symptoms added a spoonful of olive oil to her diet. Within weeks, she reported fewer cramps and a lighter, calmer belly after meals. These small examples remind us that gut health is not just about comfort but also about defense. A balanced digestive system supports immunity, helping the body fight infections more effectively. Olive oil cannot replace medical care, but it can quietly strengthen the foundation on which resilience is built. With each mindful spoon, you're not just easing digestion, you are giving your body another chance to stay strong, active, and independent in the years ahead. Sleep quality and nighttime urination with olive oil. You lie down after a long day, finally ready for rest, and yet the stomach feels unsettled, or the bladder suddenly insists on a trip to the bathroom. This cycle repeats 2 or 3 times a night, leaving you drained by morning and quietly worried about losing your strength. Both in America and India, this experience has become so common that many people assume it is simply part of aging. But science now suggests there may be small, gentle ways to ease this burden. Olive oil taken in the evening can make a difference in more ways than one. A spoonful creates a light sense of fullness, reducing the urge for late night snacks that often cause indigestion or heartburn. At the same time, its anti-inflammatory properties calm the body, lowering hidden irritation that might otherwise lead to tossing and turning. For seniors struggling with nocturia, the medical word for nighttime urination, olive oil, supports circulation and reduces pressure on the bladder, allowing the body to hold steady for longer stretches of rest. Across cultures, families have long relied on warm evening drinks to promote sleep. In America, a glass of warm milk has been the classic comfort, while in India, golden turmeric milk has offered both warmth and healing tradition. Today, adding just 1 teaspoon of olive oil to these familiar habits blends the old with the new, combining comfort with modern science in a way that respects both traditions. Consider two simple stories. In Chicago, an elderly man who had spent years waking 3 times a night began stirring olive oil into his warm milk. Within weeks, he proudly told his daughter he had slept 6 hours straight without interruption. In Bangalore, a grandmother who once rose every night at 3 a.m. added olive oil to her turmeric milk, and her family noticed she seemed brighter, more rested, and less anxious in the mornings. These changes are not magic, but they are meaningful. Olive oil cannot erase every cause of poor sleep, yet it can serve as a quiet companion in the journey toward deeper rest. By embracing this small step, you give yourself permission to hope again, for nights that are peaceful, mornings that feel lighter, and days filled with more energy than worry. Men's health circulation and testosterone with olive oil. For many older men, concerns about circulation, strength, and intimacy remain quietly unspoken, yet they weigh heavily on both confidence and daily life. In America, doctors often bring up cardiovascular health, reminding patients that what affects the arteries of the heart also affects circulation in other parts of the body. In India, conversations are more discreet, but many men still worry about weakness as they age, even if the words are never said aloud. These private fears are common, and they deserve compassionate practical answers rather than silence. Olive oil offers gentle support in this area. Its healthy monounsaturated fats and powerful antioxidants improve blood flow, ensuring that vessels remain flexible and less clogged with harmful deposits. Better circulation means oxygen and nutrients can reach every organ more effectively, including those involved in erectile function. Research also suggests that regular use of olive oil can help maintain testosterone levels, protecting energy, mood, and vitality well into the senior years. It is not about turning back the clock, but about slowing the quiet decline that many men assume they must accept. Still, it is important to be clear. Olive oil is not a miracle cure, and it cannot replace medical treatment, exercise, or balanced nutrition. Instead, it is most effective when woven into a Mediterranean-style approach to eating rich in vegetables, whole grains, and lean proteins. In India, this might mean blending olive oil with familiar dishes like dal or lightly sautéed vegetables, while in the United States, it might mean replacing heavy dressings or butter with a drizzle of olive oil over salad or fish. The message is simple but hopeful. By including olive oil in your nightly routine, you are giving your body better circulation, steadier hormones, and a quiet foundation for confidence. It is not about perfection but about progress, and about knowing that even later in life, you can still guide your health towards strength and dignity. How much is enough and the best ways to use olive oil? One of the most common questions seniors ask is not whether olive oil is healthy, but how much they should actually take. The science is clear that moderation matters, and the sweet spot seems to be about 1 tablespoon or roughly 15 milliliters each day. This amount is enough to provide healthy fats and protective antioxidants, but not so much that it adds unnecessary calories to your diet. Timing also plays a role. Experts suggest enjoying olive oil about 1 to 2 hours before bedtime, which allows your body to digest it gently and benefit from its calming effects during the night. In America, some older adults stir it into a small evening salad, while in India, others find comfort in blending it with warm milk or turmeric milk before sleep. For those who prefer simplicity, taking it directly by the spoon is also perfectly fine. It is important to remember that more is not always better. Drinking several spoons at once can cause stomach upset or lead to unwanted weight gain, especially when overall activity levels are lower in later years. Think of olive oil as a helper, not a replacement for balanced eating. Pairing it with fresh vegetables, whole grains, or light proteins makes it part of a nourishing lifestyle rather than an isolated trick. Finally, always check with your doctor if you live with diabetes, heart disease, or other medical conditions. Olive oil is supportive, but each body has unique needs. The encouraging truth is that with just one mindful spoon at the right time, you can nurture your health without fear, giving yourself a nightly gift of comfort, strength, and quiet control. As we come to the end of this journey, let us pause and remember that olive oil is more than a simple kitchen ingredient. It has been called liquid gold for centuries, and for good reason. It gently supports the heart, nourishes the brain, strengthens the bones, calms digestion, and even helps restore deeper, more peaceful sleep. These are not miracles, but steady gifts that can bring comfort and dignity during the later years of life. Still, it is important to be clear. Everything we have shared here is for education, not a substitute for medical advice. Each body is different, and your doctor remains the best guide for your unique needs. Think of olive oil not as a cure, but as a companion, a quiet helper that blends with the healthy habits you already know. So here is my gentle invitation. Try adding 1 spoon of olive oil each evening for 3 days. Notice how your sleep feels, how your stomach responds, and how your mornings begin. Then share your experience in the comments, because your story might inspire someone else who is silently struggling tonight. And as you close this video, may your nights be peaceful and your mornings full of energy.